Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crockett Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. You know who it is, man. One of the greatest to ever do it. I am the 5-star general. Should parents take care of grown-ass kids? That's the question. And what do you consider grown? Tonight we're going to talk about it, man. Let's get to it. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you. Thank you for taking the time out to tune in, because you know without you guys I would not have a show. If you just hold on a second, I want to share a screen and then we're gonna get to this thing. All right. Let's go here. Let's share this screen and we're going to come up out of here. And tonight I want to talk to you about something. I want to talk to my parents, or people who have the vision of being parents, or people who are just close to people who are parents. Are parents supposed to take care of grown-ass kids? Now, that's a crazy statement when you think of it, grown-ass kids, because you're not a man or a woman till you can financially take care of yourself. That's the way my father taught me. You're not a man or a woman until you can financially be able to take care of yourself. That's what he used to tell me. So when I say grown ass kids, that's exactly what I mean. Grown ass kids. Hold on a second, y'all. And we're going to get to this thing. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, I know y'all saw the story, but we're going to pull it up for you. I'm going to pull it up for you, and we're going to go over it. All right. Dr. Dre's eldest daughter, Latanya Young, says she's homeless and living out of her rental car. All right. Now, y'all familiar with the story? Melanie Scales, they're on to a bigger and better thing, sweetheart. Let's go with this here. So this is the story. This is Dre and his daughter. In an exclusive interview with Daily Mail, Dre's oldest daughter, Latanya Young, whom he shares with ex Lisa Johnson, says she's currently homeless and living out of a rental car. She's a single mother of 4, noted that she does deliver food via such services as DoorDash and Uber Eats, as well as works at a warehouse. However, all of these jobs are not enough to secure an apartment to live in, something that definitely adds on to the ongoing concern about poor living wages. Okay, let's go a little further. Latanya further claims that while her father previously assisted her with rent and providing an allowance, she has not received any financial assistance from her father in 18 months. It should be noted that Dre, rapper, record producer, entrepreneur, is reportedly worth about $800,000. She said that I'm homeless and I'm reaching out to my dad for help. His lawyer says that my dad doesn't want to help me because I've spoken about him in the press. I feel like I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. I'm just trying to communicate with him and see if he wants to talk to his grandkids. My kids are old enough now to know who he is. They're in shock that he doesn't want anything to do with them. Okay. Additionally, she says she hasn't seen her father in 18 years, and nor does she have his cell phone number. So in order to contact him, she got to reach out to his team. My kids are staying with friends. They're not living in the car. It's just me. I'm taking odd jobs just to make it now. I got paid $15 an hour as an assembler at a warehouse. I'm trying to keep my head above water. I've been in debt for a while. She added that she's been struggling to cover costs of her rental car, saying the car is a pretty penny. It's an SUV that costs $2,300 for 3 weeks, and I only paid for 1 week. Sooner or later, they're going to take the car. So Shannon Sharpe had spoke on this, and of course, social media tried to drag him on it, and I have my ideologies of it. And tonight I'm going to speak from my point of view because I'm a father and I raised the kids a certain way, and I was raised a certain way. I think that we're dropping the ball as parents. I think that some parents are realistically dropping the ball. And what I mean by that is we forgot basic parenting skills. And now, because we're in this 21st century, the rules to parenting has changed. It's changed to a certain degree. And I'm really not understanding some of these rules, but I'm going to do my best tonight to just have a conversation about it. Okay, so you give birth to a child, and along the way, while you're raising the child, you raise them a certain way. You should raise them to value hard work. I mean, when we were 14, 15 years old, we had to go out and bag groceries or whatever to make extra money for ourselves if that's what we wanted to do. Or we got a lawnmower, weed eater, or blower, and we went out and we did people's lawns. We just didn't sit in the house and play PlayStation all the time and allow our parents to create, hold on, a sense of entitlement. This is just my opinion. So no doubt, just my opinion. Create a sense of entitlement. I don't think kids understand the value of hard work. I think that kids nowadays, not all kids, not all parents, you create a level of laziness in your children that I've never seen before in my life. Hold on a second. Okay, we'll go over some of these comments. We create a level of laziness. We create a fake facade where we become the friends of the kids, and we can't be realistic with them when it comes to life. There are a lot of great fathers and mothers out there, whether they're black, white, or whatever, but we're dropping the ball. So what I mean by that is that I'm freezing up, so y'all bear with me. Hopefully you're able to see me. We're dropping the ball. This is how it was in my house. From 12 years old, the kids in my home, because I had my own business, working concession stands and different things like that all over the country, especially in the summer, they were charged with going to work with me. One, they didn't go to work with me because I needed them to go. They went to work with me to learn how to run my company. You see what I'm saying? They went to work with me to learn how to run my company so that when they turned 18, they could start the same type of concession business if they chose to, or they could go to college. Those were the options. And the thing is the value of hard work was instilled in them from day one. 12, 13 years old, these kids could run concession stands, know how to count inventory, know how to monitor the crew, manage the crew. I taught them that you don't manage people, you manage personalities. So everybody has a different personality, so you have to manage them a different way. So we'll get there. Jalen Monroe says, I understand not being taught financial literacy or being fiscally, I got bad eyes, responsible while being young. Once you're an adult, your parents aren't to blame anymore. Take responsibility. Go to therapy. Here's the thing. When is a kid too old for you to take care of? Dr. Dre's daughter is a grown woman. I think it was 38 years old. So where's the cutoff point? Dre has 800 million. He made his 800 million. That is his 800 million. He's helped her in the past. So whatever the breakdown was where he stopped helping her, at that point, when do you become grown? You're not grown if your daddy paying your bills. You want to be grown and you want to get on TV or get on in the newspapers and you want to say all this grown stuff and not realize that the person that you're talking about, whether you're right or wrong, is the person that's paying your bills. My kids had to learn the value of hard work. So in the summer, we need school clothes. You definitely do. Let's go to work and let's go get it. So when they went to work, I taught them financial literacy so that they could learn how to spend their money the right way, save their money, budget consistently. Now, all of them didn't get it, but one of them got it perfectly. And because of that, she's kind of set till this day. You see what I'm saying? She's kind of set till this day. Why are we making the path to adulthood harder for children? Because we realistically don't prepare them the right way to be adults. If your kid doesn't understand being a hard worker and learning how to manage your money the right way, then they're not going to be good adults. And some parents say, well, I'm not going to put my kids out. Cool, don't. You don't have to. Like Rebecca says, for me, it's never. She's never putting her son out. With my son being autistic, but high functioning, I'll never kick him out. We don't know what his future holds academically and otherwise. Parenting a special needs child is a different ballgame. It is, but I'm talking about the kids that don't have special needs. I'm talking about the kids that's fully functional adults that really can get out here and they can take care of themselves. You are not a man and a woman. I'm talking to these young people that watch this program because I got quite a few. You are not a man and a woman if your mama buying your drawers. If your mama paying your cell phone bill, you're not a man and a woman. You're a man and a woman because you're having sex. Okay, I ride with you. But in the sense of what it really means, you're not a man and a woman if your mama buying your drawers. And that's how I feel. So is Dre wrong for not supporting his daughter? I don't feel he is. I don't feel he is, especially if he's done it before. If he's done it before and he's helped her, what did you do with all the money that he was giving you? What have you been doing? See, when other people spend your money, they can spend it irresponsibly. They don't have to worry about where it comes from or how hard, they had to work for it because they didn't work for it. So they don't care. But nowadays, kids are staying home longer. And I don't understand some of you parents. You put these kids through school for 12 years and then you let them go get a job at a Walmart. And if somebody say something to you about the kid being in the house, it becomes a fight. Well, if all they want to do is work at Walmart, you got to let them drop out in the 8th grade and let them go get a GED. But if you set them up to be able to get to the next level, when are you just going to let them fly the coop? When you going to let them fly the coop, man? I was 18 years old when I left home. And I ain't never been back. There were tough days for me. There were days that I didn't know if I was coming or going. But I was a man. And my mama would, boy, you need to come home. I'm not a man if I come home. I got to figure this out. I got to get this done. You see what I'm saying? But every time a kid hit a speed bump, nowadays, we want to soften the blow. Life is not about softening the blow. I'm sorry, it's not. Life is not about softening the blow. You have to prepare them for the real. So let me read some of his comments. Nika Thomas said, I dropped the ball because I'm broke and my kids are spoiled. It's too late to backtrack. Yeah, you create monsters when you do that. Janelle Dunn, if you stay at home, they should either go to work or school, and you should pay your parents' rent. But hold on, you didn't put them through school for 12 years to get a diploma to go get a bullshit job. As a parent, You want your kids to do better than what you did. That's what you want. You want your kids to do better than what you did. So you have to push them. Okay, let's read some more comments. I'm coming from the other side, y'all. Nikki Thomas says, but his grandkids, so he can at least do for the kids. She's talking about Dre's grandkids. He doesn't have to support her. I knew she saw $1 million in her lifetime. It's her fault, but she's still broke. Nikki Thomas, the kids always suffer because of grown-up bullshit. Janelle Dunn, parents should charge them rent. Zachary Baylor says, facts. Kenitra Walker, I allow my son to stay at home rent-free. When he fit home, I guess she meant to say when he gets home from the military, while he got himself together, he was waiting on his pregnant girlfriend to come from the military. When she came from the military, I charged their ass rent in capital letters. My kids will stay for free, but when you nice your family in, you will pay. I'll make it uncomfortable so you won't want to stay permanently. Zachary Baylor say, I was 16 years old, and at the age of 12, I gave my parents money from cutting grass. You see what I'm saying? Zach, my old school partner. We grew up same era. So that's the thing. We grew up under different values. So these parents and grandparents nowadays, oh baby, you don't understand. Yes, I do. You change the rules of engagement. You change the rules of engagement. Now you got these grown ass people that's really kids masquerading as grown-ups, soft as a box of booty, and you want everybody to understand why it has to be this way. No, not at all. This is just my opinion now, y'all. It's just my opinion. So the thing is, Dre is not obligated to take care of grandkids. You get out here and you lay up and you have kids, and then all of a sudden nowadays, you want everybody else to be responsible for them. No, it doesn't work like that in real life. No, it does not. With some families. Now, some families, yeah, you will stay. Some kids are in school. They live at home. Oh, I get that. I get that. But even then, the rule should be, if you're in school and you're staying at home, just to keep the game honest, you need to pay something where you live. You can't live anywhere for free. And this is the facade that we're putting in their heads. You see what I'm saying? That this is the way it is out there. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm not obligated to take care of my kids. No, not at all. I didn't do that. You did that. So now you need to figure out a way to get it done. You grandparents done got soft, especially y'all in my age bracket. Y'all done got soft as a box of booty, man. Y'all, hey, our parents wasn't like that. And let's get this straight. A lot of our parents didn't throw us out the house, but they also made sure that we became strong men and women because we had to understand what it took to do that. And in regards to the kids nowadays, no, they don't have to work. Oh, they don't have to do this. They don't have to do that. But then they grow up and they be sorry adults, and then everybody want to make excuses for them. Oh, they don't make enough money. Man, I remember when I used to make $3.25 an hour. Come on, bro. And I still was able to buy all my clothes for college and still give my mama money. Because that's what you're supposed to do. Nothing in life is free. Nothing in life is free. We have to stop making people believe that it has to be free because of the way it is now. So let's go back. Now I'm going to go to this page that we're on, and we're going to read some of y'all comments because y'all are very opinionated, man. I love it. Melanie Scales, that's right. We had to hustle. I read Jalen's comment. Robin Cooper. Or he can buy a rental property and rent it out to her. She definitely needs to get out of a rental car for $2,300. A rental car and homelessness don't go together. Young YSL, I wish I had those types of parents. Never had my dad or my mom in my life, and neither one cares till this day. Hurts my heart. Melanie Scales said, big facts. Rebecca Johnson, it's a fine line. Melanie Scales, no, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. She should have kept her mouth closed. Young YSL, exactly how you have a diploma and make $8 an hour. Well, let's get this straight. When all you have is a diploma, that's all you gonna make. Let's take your ass to trade school or something, bro. But if all you got is a diploma, why does somebody need to pay you $16, $17, $20 an hour? It don't work like that in real life. We set them up for failure. Robin Cooper, if she's homeless, as she says, family members need to take the kids and she need to go on and get herself financially together. She said that the kids are staying with family members. So she just staying in the car by herself. Take into account housing costs. Housing across the country has skyrocketed. Now, one bedroom in Northeast are starting at $1,500. Unless you're making $30 an hour, you can barely afford that. So if she's making $2,300 an hour, if she's making $2,300 and it's only $1,500, you got $800 to play with. If you graduated or not a diploma, you should be making a salary. You have a trade or a career. Melanie Scales, all my kids are self-sufficient. Young YSL, no excuse to be a grad and working on Taco Bell. I've had no guidance in my life and still almost successful and over 7 felonies and doing better than most high school grads from what I've seen. Rebecca Johnson, most states with their minimum wages, you have to be working 50, 60 hours a week to afford market rent. It's sad. Howard Hill nowadays, grandparents are younger these days, sad. Jamarcus Owens is soft as a box of booty. Howard Hill, come on now. We have to be realistic with them. We have to prepare them in every aspect of being an adult to be realistic with them. If you don't want to live a menial lifestyle, then you need to go to college, or you need to get a trade, or you need to start your own company. Now, once you do that, you need to clearly understand financial literacy. You need to know how to save your money the right way. Before you can get to invest it in the money, you need to learn how to save your money the right way. So if you don't want to make menial wages, then get some more paperwork behind your back. If you don't want to work for people because you have a bad attitude, and you've allowed your child to have a bad attitude in the house for all those years, and they can't keep a job, you're going to have to make some adjustments. You're going to have to start your own company and work for yourself. You feel what I'm saying? So we need to be putting realistic expectations on our children so that they can clearly understand this is the world out here. And what you feel is right, a lot of times it's not. Jalen says it's unrealistic to want to be paid the same or close to the same salary as a college-educated employee when you have a diploma. And Blazin said most places ask you to make 3 times the rent. That's the rip. And Jalen says not everyone can be a business owner. If you don't want to go to school, you don't have many options. And that is true. That is true. So if you want to live $1 million lifestyle, you're going to have to figure out how to finance it. You're going to have to figure out how to finance it. But you can't keep thinking that your parents are going to pay for your lifestyle. That's not going to happen all the time. That's not going to happen all the time. So if you have the ability to go to college, then go get you in some college courses. Go to college and do what you need to do. That's what you need to do. You'll be broke for 4 years, but you'll be able to live at the college and do what you need to do. So what do we do? Well, it ain't what we do, it's what some of y'all do. Because some of y'all out there actually are handicapping your children. You're handicapping them in a manner that makes no sense. You don't want them to accept accountability. Let me put it like that. That's why a lot of kids end up in jail, because you don't deal with the accountability aspect when they do something wrong. So they get out into the real world thinking they can do the same thing, and then all of a sudden they get caught up. Because the real world is not like the way that you were raising them in the house. You feel what I'm saying? Some of y'all raise them with the name brand thing going on, where everything is name brand. Now when they out there and they struggling on their own, you know, a few of them go get some shoplifting charges because they used to wear Gucci and Louis Vuitton because it was with your money. And they don't make that kind of money. So some of them are willing to get out there and risk their freedom just so that they can be fly. You see what I'm saying? Teach them at a young age how to make their own money. Some of you entrepreneurs, you're in insurance, right? Some people I know are in insurance. So they teach their kid the insurance game while they're young. So when they turn 18, they can go get their license. They can be a licensed insurance agent. If your child is going to a school that offers trades with certifications, then why aren't you trying to get them in that air conditioning certification class in high school or cosmetology? Some schools offer a truck driving school. These schools have really gotten real technical nowadays. So why aren't they taking those classes? Okay, if they don't want to do that, maybe they want to go to the military. Then why isn't your child in ROTC? Because if they come out of ROTC and go into the military, they go in 2 pay grades higher. See, we got to set them up for success, but most of us are setting them up for failure. Most of us are setting them up for failure. You already know your kid don't want to go to college. God damn it. Your kid didn't want to go to high school half the time. So you already know. But not most, but some people see all of this going on and allow their child to go to school 12 years just so they can get the prom pictures, just so they can have the graduation pictures. But did you take a picture of him in his smock working at Walmart after he graduated? And this has been the plan for the longest. You knew it. The kid probably didn't know it. You know, my kids in school, man, in high school, ain't no working. You know, the deal was this was their job. Because if I was in a different situation, they would have had to get out and they would have had to hustle. I'm going to provide everything you need. I need you to make good grades so you can do what you need to do. In the summers, they would come work with me. They would make their money. And they were then responsible for going shop and do the things that they want with their money. But every paycheck, they had to save a certain amount of money. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you get to, if your check was $500, okay, you get to blow $100, but you're going to save $4. Okay, cool. And they were cool with that because they were getting paid weekly. So they got to blow $400 weekly, not counting what I would spend on them anyway. So when it was time to go to school, they went and got their credit cards and they went to the mall and they did their own shopping with a clear understanding. You might not want to empty your account because you're going to need money during the school year. So I bred a sense of responsibility into their heads. You see what I'm saying? I bred a sense of responsibility into their heads. Now, the kids that are working at Walmart, okay, I get it. But the question is are you just working at Walmart to make money, or are you working at Walmart to advance through their system? And while you're working at Walmart, they have a stock program. You can learn how to deal with the stock market just by allowing them to take money out your check and investing that money in their own stocks. So if you're going to start at Walmart and all you doing is pushing carts, what's your next move in Walmart? Do you want to be a cashier? Do you want to be a department manager? Do you want to be a support manager, then an assistant manager, then a store manager? If you're going to be there, then put yourself in a position where you can continuously elevate. That's what needs to be done. And then that way, when it's time for you to go off, fly, young bird, fly. Now, I'm always be here and be that safety net for you. But I ain't going to save you if you get out there and you do something stupid. You see what I'm saying? So if you think that I'm gonna pay your rent for you, if Dre paid this girl's rent, what does she do with the rest of her money? When he was paying her rent before, what was she doing with the money that she was making? But then you go and you say what you need to say, which she may have had just cause for saying what she needed to say. We don't know. But I just know that you don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's all I can tell you. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Sometimes you got to know when to shut your mouth, man. You feel what I'm saying? So let's read some of these comments. Rebecca Johnson said, I have a 2-year degree that did nothing for me. And Alicia Kennedy says, if you are homeless, why rent an SUV? That don't make sense to me either. Ebony Chadwick, right. So let's go over here and we'll look at some of these comments. Let's back up a little bit. YSL says, Gary spitting the truth. Some of these comments are duplicated. YSL, real spill. Ebony Chadwick, right. Jamarcus Owen, Fire School. Howard Hill, thank you. Walmart with the yellow vest on from Jamarcus Owens. And Howard Hill say they got to learn how life works. That is a true statement. We cannot create a false narrative. And when we create a false narrative for our kids, their level of failure is much more higher. It's much more higher. Remember the Cosby Show episode when Theo wanted to act like he wanted to live on his own and Bill went up there and he had the conversation with him. He gave him the money and showed him how the money would work. And before you know it, Theo was broke paying whatever. He was giving him a real life interpretation of how it actually goes. How many of us have these conversations with our children? Stop. Not very many. No matter what you tell me, not very many. Because if that was true, the level of failure would not be so high. It would not be so high. Kids fail a lot of times because we have not done our best as parents. They fail a few times. Hold on. They fail a few times because we have not done our best as parents. It takes a lot to be a parent nowadays. These are different types of kids. But we gotta take some of them old school values and bring them forth nowadays. So let's see what Howard Hill had to say. He said, I had to kick my son ass before he got it right because I wasn't giving him to the white folks. So true, Howard. Good fathers tend to do that some days. Jalen says, and also once you get to college, please don't pick some degrees that can't lead to a concentration or is useless like dance. Make realistic decisions that will lead you to making money. Exactly. Just because you go to college and you major in basket weaving, God damn it, how much you think you're gonna make? If you're gonna set them up for success, then why not start putting their life plan together when they're about 14 or 15? This is what this is the track that we're gonna be on. Find out where they want to go. And then it's your job to try and help them get there. Don't make it easy for them. That's the problem I have with all of this. We want to make it so easy for them. Like the daughter, she goes off, she gets pregnant. And then all of a sudden, we want to make it easy for them. Was it easy for your mom? Was it easy for mine? Mine made $119 a week. And in that, she had to pay rent. She had to pay for a babysitter. She attended every school function I had. She did it all. But nowadays, we've made them soft as a box of booty, and they can't do all that. No, they don't want to do all that, and you're helping them to be complicit. You're helping them to be complicit. No, that's not how that works. If you want to get out there and you want to be grown, then be grown. But put yourself in a position where you can take care of your business. Take care of your business. You tell me, you guys tell me, where are we dropping the ball? And I think a lot of times where we drop the ball is when we become too friendly with our kids, and then they can get away with doing those types of things and not being able to be as responsible as they should be. If you're grown and you out there, and I never understood, I would never put mine out just so they could go get an apartment, at 18 years old to mess up their credit. No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You see what I'm saying? Kathy, there's affordable housing. There's always some raggedy apartments on somebody's side of town with a $99 special that they can go get in. But that's not what you should want for your child. That's not what you should want for your child. Come on, man. Our parents wanted us to do better than them. This is why they were tough on us. This is why they set us up. This is why they taught us the value of hard work. This is why they taught us how to respect our money, because they wanted us not to make the same generational mistakes that they make. But we're not doing that. We have made it too easy for our children to fail. Whoa. Yes, we have made it too easy for our children to fail. When you're teaching responsibility, you have to be responsible 100% of the time. When you are grown, I want you to think about this as a parent. Oh, my kid can stay here forever. You know why? Because you're 100% responsible for your lifestyle. So you do everything that you're supposed to do to be able to say that that kid can live there as long as they want. But while you're doing that, are you teaching them what it will take for them to do the same thing? If that grown person is living in your house and not paying some form of rent, if you use it for the rent or if you keep it and you save it for them, however, if they're not doing that, you're failing them. You're not teaching them responsibility. I'm sorry. Maybe you wanted me to say something else. But no, I'm not. I'm going to tell you the truth. You're not teaching them responsibility. And parents, please stop letting your kids lay up on you having baby after baby. You love your grandkids. I love mine too. But God damn it, I got a life just like everybody else. And I'm not finna be bogged down with no babies because you done laid up and had baby after baby. No, not gonna happen. Stop allowing these kids to lay up in your house and have baby after baby and think it is what it is. Kathy Johnson says there's not enough affordable housing in Houston. When we were young, we could afford apartments. Now apartments are very expensive. How y'all want this? Real or sugar-coated? I've been trying to be nice. Stop worrying about an apartment. Either take your ass to the military, trade school, college, or start you a company. Stop worrying about an apartment at 18 years old that you only using to lay up and with. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. You can't set your future up if all you're doing is worrying about getting an apartment. They're not equipped to do that at this moment. And the thing is, the housing market is what it is across the country. But if you give yourself time to go get that certification or time to go get that degree, when you get out and you really making money, it ain't gonna matter what the housing market is. You can afford it. But you're not gonna be able to afford to live if all you're making is $7.25 an hour. You did not go to school 12 years to make $7.25 an hour. I am sorry, that is real in my world. If you want better for them, push them to the max. If you want better for them, push them to the max. Stop acting like we can't push our kids to do better. Jalen said, this is the problem. There are too many fail-safe options. I totally agree with him. Totally. If there was no welfare, affordable housing, I know there would be more people in college getting an education. You might be on to something. If you didn't have these safety valves that you could fall back on, then you would choose a different option of getting to where you need to be. And you know we're telling the truth. Curtis Chavez said my grandma used to call it crapping out kids and not taking care of them. It helps when we as parents lead by example. If all your kid ever saw was you getting up every morning, your husband getting up every morning, or if you're in a single parent household, just your parent getting up every morning, going bust they behind, going to work, that's something that's the way I got to do it. But when your kid can see you get up every morning and fire the sweet up, drink you some lean, then what you think they're going to want to do when they get grown? See, a lot of y'all cannot push your children academically. You can't push them from an educational standpoint because you don't have a diploma. So you don't understand the value of a diploma, so you can't push them to go get one to better themselves. This is why kids some days start missing school unceremoniously. Because they have parents that don't understand the value of a diploma. And the value of a diploma is nothing nowadays. It's nothing. It's not worth the paper that it's written on anymore. But you got to get that much to be able to get to the point where you can get the other stuff. You see what I'm saying? You have to get to that point. So is the good doctor wrong for not helping his daughter? In my mind, I say he's not. She's grown. Now, I might get drugged just like Shannon Sharpe did, but who cares? I don't care because I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it 100. You know, I might get drugged like Shannon, but who cares, man? Because it is not his responsibility to take care of a grown person. I got in an argument a few weeks back. Really wasn't an argument. Somebody attacked me unjustly. And you know how I came back? I really would argue with you, but you 43 years old living at your mama house, Jody. $43 years old living at your mama house. Stop acting like your mama's sick. Stop acting like your mama can't take care of herself. You 43 years old living at your mama house. Trying to run your mama house at that. You're not grown, bro. You are not a man and a woman until you can financially take care of yourself. And that's all it boils down to. 43 years old living at your mama house. And you want to argue with me. I ain't lived at my mama house since I was 18 years old. My mama didn't play them games. Hell no, their mama ain't sick, Al. You know that's the lie they telling? Man, you know, I'm staying with my mama because, you know, she need help. You a damn lie. I'm staying at my mama, man, because she's sick. You a lie. You staying at your mama because you don't want to pay no bills. And then some of y'all get so fly with it. Al, they get so fly with it. You done moved the whole family into your mama house. My mama lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. My niece stayed there with her. And before you know it, my sister and all 5 of her kids and her man was there. I ain't lying. My niece on this thread now. I ain't lying. Man, how all these goddamn people live in one house? And then want to come there and regulate something. No. That don't work like that. And then the little bit that some of them have to pay once you move the whole family in, they still won't pay it. They still won't pay it. Blazing says she has 4 kids. She's single. She's in a rental car. If you got 4 kids, where the baby daddies? Why you ain't jamming up your baby daddies to give you some type of financial support? But does it make more sense to pay $2,300 for a rental car or take that $2,300 for a place to stay and then you get your ass on the bus and go to work? Just like a lot of people say before the pandemic. Let's say before the pandemic. Oh, they ain't got no jobs out here. You a lie. You ain't qualified for them. You don't have the educational background it takes to get the jobs. We make too many excuses. You know, and like I'm saying, and these dudes, y'all worse. I can see the girls, you know, because women are different. They're girls to me. But are you 43 years old as a grown-ass man staying at your mama house? Come on, dog. And then the first thing you want to say, I got kids and I'm a man. Ain't no grown-ass man live on his mama. And now you see why these women don't want you. Because if she got to take care of you, you might as well go over there and screw your mama. Al makes a good point. Let me put his comment up. Al say, mama's home is where you visit, not to live. I totally agree with you. The grandkids can come visit, but not to stay. Them your kids. You the one went there and you did the nasty and had 4 kids. Now take care of your 4 kids. That's not Dr. Dre's responsibility to take care of your 4 kids. That's not Dr. Dre's responsibility to take care of you as a grown woman who has, and I'm going to just say you have a baby's father, because I don't know if you have multiple baby daddies. But some of y'all, if you got 4 kids, you got 4 baby daddies. You'll put that financial burden on your parents before you put the financial burden of that child on their father. You do that. You do that. So I'm just at a point where we have to what's the word I'm looking for? We have to develop better parenting skills to prepare our children for life. Stop preparing them for the prom and prepare them for life. Stop preparing them for the Friday night lights and prepare them for life. This is what needs to be done. Fayville Bowie said, Gary, you are right about how lazy people are still living at home. They living at home because they don't want to pay no bills. But remember, you thought it was a game when your parents was paying the bill and you were popping off by the mouth and talk to the hand, talk to the hand. But now you're grown and you got to shit that $1,200 out every month. So now you want to come back and live at your mama house. But if you go to your mama house, don't try to run your mama house. That's not your house. And mamas, don't feel bad, and fathers, don't feel bad the day you got to tell them, get their stuff and go. Alan Guillory, let's read what Robin Cooper said. I would have to get rid of that rental car and walk if I was her. And I agree. I like a roof over my head. Maybe she's depressed and is not thinking straight. That's the game they're still trying to sell. Better get a skill or business. College is overrated, according to Sunlight. Alan Guillory says, Sunlight, the same thing happened to me. I graduated from college from the University of Houston downtown. Been very difficult finding a good job on salary, but I found a job. I never thought that I would sell hot dogs for a living and make $300,000 a year. You never know where your career is going to come from. Sharonda Joseph Jacob says, what about parents living with their kids? I don't think that's a problem. They took care of you all your life. Take care of them. My mom in her last days, I took care of my mom lock, stock, and barrel. Then she ended up sick, had to get her leg amputated, and she came to live with me. And she was, boy, I'm gonna pay you. No, you ain't gotta pay me. You don't have to pay me nothing. You can live here as long as you want. Man, you took care of me. You don't owe me nothing. I would never charge my mom to live with me. And if they get to a point where we have to help them, then that's what it is. Al Jackson says my grandmother's number, one rule, if you live there, when you get paid, I get paid. Exactly. And grandma wasn't trying to rape Al. She just wanted to keep it real. Because she knew you ain't gonna live nowhere for free. It ain't gonna happen. Jalen says if she took the bus and found a job close in proximity, she could save for a cash car instead of renting. Don't finance rent unless you can afford it. Kathy Johnson, my grandparents lived with my aunt and uncle. In Sunlight, Alan Guillory, I went for a name brand too. Big costly mistake. I think that we're getting on the right track, and we have to do better as parents, y'all. That's all it boils down to. I'm just being straight up with you. And we have to prepare our children for life and not for the prom. That's just how I think. And I think those of us who came up with those very, very tough values, you can see it in the lack of failure in our children. Because Jalen Monroe's going to go to school. She's going to go to work. She's going to do it all. She has a mom that's phenomenal. Bust her behind. She has a daddy who been working since he was 15 years old. I don't know how to take off. So what you expect from her? What you expect from her? It's embedded in her. And excellence is in, even though we're not together, excellence is what's been embedded in her. If she's going to do it, God damn it, be the best at what you do. Be the best at what you do. But she also has her own realistic expectations that if I want to get to this level, I have to do what it takes to get to that level. And my mom and dad are not going to get me there. They're not going to get me there. I got to bust my behind and get there. But wasn't no GED in the plan with this. Wasn't no failure in the plan with this. Because we had already made the mistakes. So I'd be damned if we let her make the mistakes. And hopefully she takes those lessons and pass those down to her children. That's what has to happen. Curtis Chavez says, ladies and guys, be more picky of whom you choose to have a child with. You might get soul tied to a loser who sucks the life out of you and forsakes your kids. You can't polish a turd. Alan Guillory, my grandmother left me the house because it was paid off. The other grandchildren don't want to be bothered with helping grandma, but she helped raise them. I will not sell a house for $50, 50,000 cash money. And you shouldn't. That's how gentrification wins, because we own these properties and then we sell them to the lowest bidder. You see what I'm saying? And then they take the house and they do what they want with it. You keep your grandmother's house. You keep it in the family. And then when you get to that point, you pass it down to somebody just as responsible as you. You feel what I'm saying, my good people? Now, I will tell you, man, it's been a hell of a week. It's been an honor to hang out with you guys. And it's always an honor to hang out with y'all. We're running for school board, man. If you want to donate to my campaign, you're welcome to do that. I forgot to put the thing up, but you're always welcome to do that. We're looking pretty good. We just got some work to do. We just got some more work to do. We got to raise a little bit more money. We got to get out in the community. We got to do what we got to do. But thank you for always tuning in. Thank you for always tuning in. And there are other good programs out there that you can watch, and you get out there and you do what you need to do to get the information. Al says Big Mama would say in her house, what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours. And what's both of ours is all mine because it's her house. And that's the way it is. I live with an auntie. That woman used to wake up every morning slamming pots. Slamming pots. And get what Gary Monroe did? Got the hell up out of there because that was her house. I wasn't going to do it. So thank you for taking the time out, my good people, for always tuning in. And it is what it is. I'm not going to hold you. I got some finance paperwork that I need to work on and get some things in order. And keep your head on the straight and narrow. Stay prayerful. Watch out for that heat. Stay hydrated because it's real in the field, man. That's all I can tell you. It's real in the field. Say, man, another spirited discussion from the best in the business. It's been a hell of a week. And it's going to be a hell of a week next week because the one and only DJ Yella from NWA will be in the building. Watch what I tell you, unless he cancels. I'm the 5-star general. And until next week, I'll holler at you.